Am I the jerk for sending my parents and their spouses a screw you message before going no contact? I, 20-year-old guy, have been low contact with my parents for the last 2 years. Their spouses did not want me living there once all legal responsibility to me ended on their part. So I was homeless for a brief period before my boyfriend and his family realized and took me in. His parents were the ones who suggested the final message to them, and his mom helped me get what I wanted to say in it. People are probably wondering why I was pushed out and if I was some terror, but it's actually more like none of them ever wanted me. I was an affair child, a double one. My dad and his wife are older, and their youngest was 15 when I was born, and they had an 18 and 20-year-old too. My mom and her husband had 4 kids under 8. My parents started an affair 2 years before I was born, and I was the reason it came out. Mom got pregnant when it wasn't supposed to happen and questions were asked, and then it was out in the open. Both of the spouses wanted nothing to do with me. I was not allowed to call them my stepmom and stepdad. I was not allowed to use their first names. I had to say sir or ma'am, or I had to say Mr. or Mrs. So, I ended up with my maternal grandmother's maiden name. On top of that, I was not allowed to call their kids my siblings or half-siblings. I was screamed at for trying to say it a few times. I was passed between both houses at a rapid rate. 2 days in one and 4 in another and back and forth. They never wanted to keep me. Sometimes I went to sleep in one house and woke up in another. My biological extended families were not allowed to acknowledge me as a member of the family. They would make a point of singling me out and excluding me from grandkids/cousin activities, and I was called names a lot. I needed glasses at a young age, and I was forced to take the cheapest ones because they spent as little as possible on me. By the time my 17th birthday came, there were fights between the 4 parents because both spouses wanted me gone and the other refused to let me live there for a year. So, I was bounced around more that final year, and then I was told I was no longer welcome and everything in the houses were things they bought, so I could only leave with the clothes I was wearing. I kept that quiet because I was so ashamed. Even my boyfriend had no idea until I was homeless. He knew I was an affair kid and that things weren't perfect at home, but he had no idea how deep that ran. It was a few weeks ago my boyfriend's mom told me I was better off without them and that I should cut all ties. She said before I leave them behind for good, I should let them know everything I ever wanted to tell them. And so I wrote a long message that had to be split into 2 in the group chat, and I basically said how much I hated them for treating me that way and that they were monsters and child abusers, and I deserved better than to be raised like I had done something when it was mom and dad who had their affair and the spouses who stayed with them and accepted the cheating. I also said my life would be so much better without them now, and I had a real family who loved me for who I am. They said I was what abortion was made for, and how they wished every day I was dead instead of living and breathing in the world. And my parents said I had no reason to be so disrespectful when I was given food and a roof over my head for as long as they were obligated, and I was entitled for expecting more.